Good morning. I'm Kat. I'm the founder of Zora Safe, where we're working to combat AI-generated scams and fraud for the most vulnerable users in our population, and the number one attack vector on mobile devices. It's a real honor to be here. I love when I get to talk to curious people who want to actually affect change, and that's what we're here to do. So today, I want to tell you a story. It's not about malware. It's not about a 0 day. It's about humans. It's about why my grandma clicked it again and what changed in the scam landscape to make millions like her do the same thing. I'm going to start with this message because I think it really hits home for the vast majority of people. If you will let me say this.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Dad. It's me, Ella. Well, a digital version of me, just a bit older. Amazing what technology can do these days, isn't it? All you need are a couple of pictures, like the ones you share on social media, where they can be taken and used by everybody. I know these are just memories, but for others, they're data. And for me, maybe the beginning of a horrible future. A future where my identity can go stolen, where I can go to prison for things that I've never do. Imagine my credit score being destroyed, Dad. Or my voice can't be to scam you. I don't want to become a me humiliated by everyone in school. Kill yourself and fucking. And I certainly don't want this. What you share online is like a digital footprint that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I'm telling you this because I know you love me. It would never do anything to harm me. So please, Mom. Please, Dad. Protect my virtual privacy.
That short film, it's called A Message from Ella. It made waves across the internet. Some of you have probably already seen it. It's about deepfake voices, AI helping create the scams that affect people every day. And you can hear her asking for help in that AI voice. It only takes 3 seconds of your voice to be able to create an AI deepfake of your voice. They really want more because they won't have the most, best tonality and sound if it's 3 seconds. But think about the length of the average voicemail message that you leave on your own phone. And they could just copy that and when that call from them comes in at 3 a.m., your brain doesn't fact check. It just feels the emotion and the urgency, which is what you felt at the end of that video, right? In the US alone, scams last year cost us over $16 billion. 65% of that was from senior citizens in our communities. The attackers are not getting smarter, actually. It's the exact opposite. They're using AI to super speed and supercharge the scams, but they're not code monkeys anymore, right? This isn't the normal hacker. A kid down the street can purchase phishing, phishing software. They can purchase ransomware as a service. These things are more common now. So I want to go a little bit into the pre-AI attack pipeline versus what the pipeline looks now. Before AI, it was very linear. It was heavy. And there were lots of spots in that chain where we could interrupt it. It also took a lot longer to scam. So it was really recon, pretext, mass emails, call center trees like normal, and in-branch gift cards. And this was the old playbook, right? It was clunky, it was traceable, and most importantly, it gave us those choke points that we could affect. And those choke points, back in the day, they were like questions from the bank teller stopped you, or things that were traceable for us, transfer holds, time delays, things like that. Defenders could see the attack and stop it because it took longer. AI has, like I said, supercharged that. So today, AI collapses that timeline completely. In just hours, an attacker can clone a voice, spoof a phone number, send a personal lure, orchestrate across multiple channels, and deepfake the approval. And they don't just move money, they move your emotions. That's what they're aiming for. Here's the terrifying part. There is no malware that we're looking for. There's no log to find. There are no alerts for us to look at. Your antivirus, I tell people this all the time. The biggest lie in cybersecurity is that your antivirus is actually protecting. Your antivirus doesn't stop a convincing phone call, doesn't stop a phishing message. It doesn't stop you from clicking on, the clickbait that's everywhere that is scams, right? Mom, I've been arrested. I need $15,000 for bail. Don't tell dad. You can't run a virus scan on that. This is emotional engineering, not just social engineering. These scams don't rely on bad grammar or weird punctuation anymore. There's no Nigerian prince that gives it away, right? Instead, they're using authority here, right? Urgency, secrecy, and they're creating a perfect cross channel for consistency. It feels real because it is in your head, right? The sound of that child on the phone sounds just like your kid. You're going to believe it immediately. And it's hard to build that pause in. It's not about beating your firewall. It's about bypassing your judgment in that scenario. These are the three biggest scams that we're seeing. And number one, pig butchering. You've probably heard that term. It's you fatten up a pig and then you slaughter it. Those are the romance scams, the investment scams. They take longer. And romance scams, I actually think is kind of a misnomer. It's not all romance, right? It could be someone who's just a friend texting you to be friendly and then gives you advice on a really awesome crypto deal that made them tons of money and you should totally get in it and then it's FOMO, right? So that's pig butchering, false profits. There's AI chats, fake screenshots they send you. Then we see tech support, government impersonations, keeping victims on the phone, walking them through all of the app warnings, right through all of them. BEC, that's your business email, right, being compromised, the most dangerous. And it sits inside real email threads, and it changes just the final wire transfer, just that screen. These aren't stories, they're just changes in operations, scaled, repeatable, and they're efficient. Think of it like a criminal startup funnel. I know that sounds weird, but they find you via data brokers or leaks. They write the bait using AI in your tone or in the tone of a family member. They deliver it across multiple channels, SMS, email, DMs. They coach you past each warning that you run into, and then they move the money. And then they hit you again with recovery scams. It's not a hit and run, it's a pipeline. Scams are not local. These are international crews with specializations. We're seeing most romance scams come from Southeast Asia, tech support scams mostly from big cities in India. BEC rings are mostly in West African areas. They use mules, and they use mule networks all over the world. So that scam ring in West Africa or India are using mules here in the US to go pick up your money, crypto brokers, and cross-border money laundering. It's global, it's profitable, and it's working at a shocking rate. Picture a floor of agents managing 20 plus victims each. Here's how they manage that, right? They clone your voice in under 30 seconds off of your TikTok. They auto dial with a spoofed caller ID. They use an LLM to rebut objections in real time. They can search it and tell exactly how to beat it right there on the phone. They log everything in a CRM. That is what I find most fascinating, right? They are using our customer software to manage your scams, to manage you guys. It's not random. It's an assembly line, and they've set it up to entirely manipulate each one of us. If you've worked in sales, this might feel a little familiar because it's basically the same exact thing. You're manipulating people on the phone. So let's just do a quick deep dive. Couple of these. Pig butchering, it starts a friendship or a romance. The chat feels natural because that AI is mirroring your language. Then the exclusive investment tip comes, or if it's a romance scam, I need to borrow money for X, Y, and Z, or I want to come visit you, please send me money, or whatever. You see profits in a slick app or a site, and then when you try to withdraw, there's always one more step, a fee, a tax, or something to unlock it. And then you have to cash out via crypto. Later, that same crew will come back to you for that recovery service. They call you, hey, we heard you had a problem with scams from your bank. So let us help you recover that. And then you lose money to them again. The only real defense for this is pull down, verified callback. Block on the first time for large transfers. If a user has never done a wire transfer before and they show up in your bank and they want to transfer $15,000, that should be blocked for at least 24 to 48 hours. Gives us enough time to at least catch the scammer and stop it. Tech support and imposters. So these are those calls you get where it's like, call us immediately. You have a warrant out for your arrest, or we're going to send a subpoena to your house for XYZ. They panic you. Victims see a prompt or they get a call claiming a security incident, and it's the attacker's job to keep the victim on the phone and on the line long enough to bypass all those warnings. Right? They coax codes out of you. They install access into your computer. Just let them right in. They're not interested in your machines, right? The software, the tools, the hackers of the past, they were hacking files and systems. They're hacking you. BEC, talked about this a little bit. This is your business email. A scam where criminals impersonate a trusted person within your network, right? So let's say your CFO sends you an email. Hey, you're in a different time zone than I am. We need to wire money to X, Y, and Z. And it comes in with, his signature and everything. And you call the number that's listed in his signature for confirmation. And it's a scammer. So you wire the money. Those are some of the largest financial transactions. We all joke about that Nigerian prince, but honestly, it got to the point where I couldn't identify the difference between a scam coming in and my mom couldn't. And that's when I realized we had a giant problem because you can't tell the difference now. We need systems to combat it just as much, right? So why do smart people fall for it? Because everyone is vulnerable in a hot state. It's that emotional, urgent, and secret state that they're putting you in, and you can't think clearly. That's normal brain reaction. The moment you apply, that's the engagement cliff, right? You've entered into their funnel of manipulation. One step, one click, and your brain says, this is real. And from there, all your logic just flies out the window. You might be wondering, what happens if there is no malware or phishing email or compromised password? Well, welcome to the session era, that's what I'm calling it. These are common entry points now. We have the attack in the middle. Attackers steal your session cookies after you've already logged in, right? And then they have that session for an extended period of time. We're giving sessions longer periods of time already, right? So they're manipulating in, and then they keep that session. OTP harvesting, they call or they text, and then they ask you for the code. And then they've got access. They can go in and change your phone number on the account and multiple other things because you've just handed them the code. And that's your, multi-factor authentication out the window. OAuth consent prompts. You approve access thinking it's a doc or a service, and then they're in. That's it. Once they have your session, you're logged in, and so are they. Malware is noisy. It's somewhat easy for us to track and find, but session hijacking leaves no footprint at all. No alert, just access. Once attackers are in, the next step is moving the money. It's never all at once. First, they add a new payee to the account and they test the water with that bank first. They'll move small amounts, a small transfer at first, see how it goes, see what red flags there are, and then they can manipulate it more beyond. Okay? If that lands, then the full amount in your account will follow, often through instant payments or crypto. Then it splits to money mules and then through over-the-counter brokers. And then it hops cross-border via crypto mixers or shell LLCs. And in many cases, the money is unrecoverable. And it usually happens in under an hour now. So that attack pipeline that we talked about pre-AI took weeks for this stuff to happen. That attack we just talked about, let's talk about an older lady who got that phone call and they got into her retirement account. And in under an hour, they have wiped out her entire life savings. That's happening at a massive degree, especially here in Florida. And it's honestly shocking. I think it was it's like $32,000 was the average loss from seniors. Okay, so think about it. That means some lost their entire life savings to make that number that high. Okay. If you don't need a sophisticated virus, with your victims volunteer to wire the money. So how do we catch this before the money's gone? We have to rethink the entire playbook. It starts with signals. New payee, like I mentioned, off hours transact, that's a big one. Unusual device logging, urgent language in payment notes, and then use those signals to drive a risk score, an assessment with plain English explanations. That should score triggers on on-device coach, right? And which is one of the reasons why we're building ZoraSafe. It's a mobile app on the number one attack vector, which is now your mobile device. And that app helps identify those things in real time and just sends you a quick warning. Hey, this call is not actually coming from your daughter. That's a spoofed number. It's a quick fix for a lot of it, right? But most people don't think about it in the time. So short, clear messages seems unusual, but would you like to call someone before, wire transfer of $25,000? Let's hang up and call your bank instead and actually confirm that there's some problem going on. Fraud defense isn't just detection, it's behavioral interruption at the decision moment. And that's the hardest part. People hate friction, but not all friction is actually equal. So here's the framework that we use. Smart targeting, only add friction for new payees, off hours, or risky contents, small amounts, micro holds of 1 hour, and simple heads up alerts. Larger and riskier transactions, 24 to 48 hour holds, identity, live outreach if needed. Banks are going to stop reimbursing. They're already doing that now, right? You lose money from a scam, depends on how you fell for that scam if they're going to reimburse. I have to skip through because they're running out of time. But these are the 3 things that I would tell everybody to look for as like your North Star to help. That would be reducing the amount of money lost by the people being scammed, reducing the people who are repeat victims, like that, hey, let's help you recover your money. It's happening more than you can realize, which is scary. And then number 3, verify callbacks. It seems easy. It seems simple, right? But if your kid is screaming on the line that they've been kidnapped, do you want to hang up the phone and call them back? Right. And then we A/B test everything. Friction timing, warning copy, delay duration. All right. I'll skip over that. It's too much to go over right now. This isn't theoretical right now. It's organized and it's industrialized crews that are running in shifts, using scripts and working from sanctioned facilities. Southeast Asia is a very good example. They're actually using human trafficking to man those scam sectors, right? So they are kidnapping people and then forcing them to scam people here in the United States. And the US impact, those are the romance scams, the tech support frauds, and those BEC attacks, all fueling cross-border money laundering in crypto, in cash, and in scale. But there's leverage. add one blocker to the pipeline, and you disrupt the entire scam family, right? These attacks are scalable, but so are our defenses if we ship them fast enough. And right now we're not. All right, this will be my final one. Can you tell the difference from a scam and the non-scam? What do you guys think? Are the scams on the left or the right? What do you think? Yeah.
I think it's the right because they never send a photo.
Exactly. It is the right. The two on the left are legitimately from a bank, from two different banks. The ones on the right are scams. Banks do not send you links. That is phishing. Right. All right. And I'll leave you with this. A simple mantra. Pause, verify, and protect. All right. Any questions? We're out of time. Sorry about that.